Connect. Kupata information unataka. Connect. Life ni journey pia ni process. Connect. For every step una make, it brings a different outcome. It always comes together. Everything in life is a process. Life is a journey. Believe in the process. Everything in life comes together. Life is a journey. Believe in the process. Inspiring, informing, and impacting. This is the Konect.
Yes, a very good afternoon or evening, depends on where you are. This wonderful, beautiful Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are. Santeni sana. Thank you. I was saying that in Greek, just saying thank you. Tonight, we just have an amazing show just for you. We actually looking to see and to get to know what's going on. That's why it's called the ground view. So on the ground view tonight, we have a very youthful, very young team. I just want to understand what really motivates someone to actually go and start a business or even call themselves an entrepreneur. What really pushes them? Because it's not easy, and we seeing that it's not so many of our young people who are actually going and trying things. But this is a very great bunch that I have tonight. Very great people that are trying things. And I know it's not easy, but they actually have what it takes. I want to understand, what does it take to start producing, to start giving a service, to start designing, for those who design, and to those who are actually doing businesses out there. What does it take to start? So tonight I'm joined by three great people. One of our guests tonight is all the way from Adelaide, and the other guests are actually right here in Victoria. And if you're joining us from any other state, and if you wanna appear on the Konect, please give us a shout out somewhere. Tell us what you do. We actually will do this interview and just get to know you a little bit more and actually give the information out there to people. So tonight, without any further ado, we have a great team, and I just want to introduce my team. And guys, please put your hands together as we bring on stage tonight this great team. I'll introduce them one at a time, but it's an amazing team. On my left, right there, it's a lady by the name Linda Monzaley. She actually is a designer, and I want to understand, what does it take to be a designer, and then just to get in a field where I think it has people who are actually very well, established, but what's made her go into the designing field? And then on the middle right there, I don't know why I put him in the middle. He goes by the name Hassanoor. Tonight we're joined by Hassan. Hassan is doing he's getting into a very competitive field, whereby he's doing digital marketing and he does websites. And I want to understand, what does it take to actually get in that field? So right there in the middle, I have Hassanoor. And then on my farthest left, I have this great lady. She goes by the name Caro. She calls herself C. And I want to understand, how does someone get into the hair business? Because she's actually getting into what we call hair products. If you see my hair looking the way it's looking tonight, yeah, I have someone to thank. So I want to start with Caro, the person I finished. I just want you, in a minute or so, just introduce yourself. Let the people know who's Caro, and how did you even start? How did you know that this is the product that I want to go for? So, Caro, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much, Peter, for giving us this opportunity to actually put ourselves out there and share a little bit of ourselves. So my name is Cara, as you've heard, and most of the people in Melbourne actually call me C, or around Australia. Most people in Kenya call me Njeri. So it's up to you, whichever name you choose. I started doing hair products in 2020, well, beginning of 2020, because before that, I was actually providing products for another company. And there was a time that there were no products at all. So there was a gap that needed to be filled. And with that, actually, I started doing So when I ran out of products, I actually started doing my own products in my own bathroom and in the kitchen. So I'd make my own oil, I'll make my own shampoo, I'll make my own butter. And with that, I was like, oh, okay. So my friends would come over and they would try the product and they would love them. So they started loving the product. And people say, oh, you can't do business with friends. But let me tell you, your friends will be your first customers, or rather they'll be the ones who actually share and get to experience your product. So yeah, 2020, I had to fill that gap.
Amazing, amazing. Thanks for that brief introduction, Caroline. And we're gonna go straight to you, Hassan. When did you start? And just a brief introduction about yourself and how did you even start? How did you even know that's the service or the product that you wanted to go to? Over to you, Hassan.
Hi everyone, thank you, Vita. My name is Hassanoor, and excited to be here today with you guys. And I hope you all doing well and you're all feeling good. Um, I am a digital marketer, currently doing digital marketing agency. I started this not long ago within Melbourne, and this was 6 months ago when everyone was in lockdown in Victoria, especially Melbourne. And marketing is not something that I ever loved before, but since the technology has taken over the world and we had a bit of a time to play with our phones and scroll down, I came across on an ad on YouTube one day as I was watching videos on YouTube, and I realized there's something called digital marketing. And I said, since I never loved marketing, but I said, let me just listen to this ad. The ad was a bit exciting, and I started from there, and it really started really funny. But you know how the ad is always like 5 minutes, 5 seconds, and then you can skip on YouTube. But I had to watch that advertisement for 13 minutes. So after 13 minutes, I was really convinced to do this, and after a bit of a research and all that, I ended up doing this thing, and I really enjoy it right now. So that's how I started. And thank you, Peter, for bringing me in here to share my story with you guys today.
Amazing. Just from an ad. I think you're the people who make the guys who make ads get paid. Watching the ad for 30 minutes. Anyway, that's another story for another day. So we're gonna go over to you, Linda. Linda, how did you just give us a bit brief introduction, just introduce yourself and just how did you even start? How did you even get into designing? Linda, over to you.
Hi everyone. This is Linda, still known as the Monzaley. I think for me, I would say it goes back to when I was in university, where I would go hungry but look good, and I knew there was something about design in me. Anyway, when I came to Australia, I thought it's just something that I did like. And one time I just designed an outfit for someone for one event. And when he came back, he was like, that was amazing. Everyone was commenting. And since then, just that one inspiration or that one comment, that one person was more than enough to inspire me to get started. And for me, it has always been all about guesswork until I get it right. So that's basically how kinda I started.
Amazing. Guesswork. We're getting into that. So we're gonna go to the next question. I just want to understand. Maybe we'll start with you, Hassan. Why that service? Do you have a background, or what did you do to actually get yourself where you need to be? Why digital marketing? And do you have a background in that? And how did you end up there? Or have you studied to get where you are? So we're gonna start with you. Over to you, Hassan. Why digital marketing?
Okay, that's a really good question, Peter. I had a bit of a knowledge on doing some of the services that right now we do. I was able to create e-marketing things for some companies that I worked before, especially in the travel industry. And I was in the travel industry doing some. I had travel agency. So this travel agency thing has came to an end during the lockdowns and all that, and I started searching on what to do next while I was not while I was out of work and had a bit of a time, and I ended up in doing this thing. So the only knowledge that I had in this field was creating websites and doing some email marketing. But anything other than that, I didn't have any experience whatsoever. Not knowledge, except that the knowledge that I had, like the normal common knowledge that I had from my university and all that, which I did business in university, so maybe that has helped me a little bit. But in terms of marketing, I always didn't like marketing. But I ended up doing ads and what do you call websites and all that. But the only knowledge that I have was a bit of knowledge about creating websites. Other than that, my marketing knowledge was really really basic.
Zero. We gotta come
Zero.
back to that. It's amazing. I like what I'm hearing tonight. I love it. So, Caro, did you have any background and why that product? At least you touched a little bit about that, but did you have any background in making hair products? And did you study what did you do so that you can get yourself to where you wanted to be? So did you have any background in hair or anything to do with any hair products? Over to you, Caro.
Good question, Peter. So I actually don't have any formal background in hair making or products or science. I was actually really bad in science in school, but I'm a nurse. Just to touch on what I do, so I'm a nurse. I work in hospital, but so making the product actually came from passion. So you might actually have knowledge and not know what to do. So it came from passion. And also, I've been very lucky to actually tap on mentors and coaches. And also, as any entrepreneur would do, I'm able to actually do my own research. And I think 2017, I was actually involved in like a hair campaign. There was this girl who was trying to come up with a product and they needed someone to test the product or something. So I was like, oh, okay. As an entrepreneur, you are always up for a challenge. You're always up to learn and explore different things. But as you asked, no formal education on it. So thank you.
Wow. This is this is turning out to be a very great night because some people say, "Oh, I need to have studied or I need to have done this so that I can actually be able to do that." But you guys are telling me that you didn't have any background in whatever you're doing. Anyway, we're gonna hear from Linda, and then I'm gonna ask the next question. So, Linda, did you have any formal training, and why designing? And did you have any training, or how did you actually end up designing clothes? Linda, over to you.
Um, Thank you, Peter, for the question. Actually, I do not have any training. What I did when I was in Kenya was I did try to teach myself how to use a sewing machine, but I failed on one attempt, and that was it. And I was like, that was it. I didn't want to do it anymore. Anyway, when I came here, and I saw the sewing machines were pretty easy to use, I just bought a basic sewing machine. I think the cheapest one possible, and it comes with the DVD, so you get to watch the DVD to give you an idea of how you install. And for me, it was just through curiosity and passion. I had so much passion for fashion, and all I wanted to do was just make an outfit. I would think of a design that I probably have seen somewhere and just possibly imagine how it could be made, and I would just try. It would look good or it would look bad, but for me, it was just all about keep going and see how this goes. So in the beginning, I just started as, yeah, trying. Yes.
So there was the word guesswork. Now there's the word trying, and there's another word that I like. You guys keep using it so much, so many times. Passion, amazing passion. So we're gonna get to that passion, and I wanna understand a little bit about the how it actually comes together. So how do you even design? So I'm gonna start with you, Linda. How do you even come up with a design? So is it something you research on the website? Is it something that maybe just you sleep and then comes over at night? I don't know. So we're gonna hear from you, Linda, then the same from everybody else, and then I'm gonna go to the next question. But I just want to understand, how do you actually come up with such product? Maybe for you designing, how do you come up with a design? Over to you, Linda.
This is probably a funny question and a good one. Well, for some designs, I do research some designs and I kind of make them my own. So when I see a certain design that I like, I kind of make it in my own way because I feel like everyone has a touch in their own design, even though they could have some similarity. Sometimes actually, I when I'm sleeping, I think of a design, and when that happens, I kind of it's either I wake up and try it. This is the craziest thing I've ever done, or I would wake up and fasting in the morning. That's the thing I'd want to do. And I've done this so many times. I've either slept very late because there's a design that I have in mind and I have to put it in action and try again until by the time I go to bed, I have actually tried and seen how it looks. So most of the time it's just inspiration of the things that I imagine would look good on me, and then I just try and yeah, a bit of research and weirdly coming to my mind. So yes.
I think, anyway, we gotta come to that. So I'm gonna go to you, Hassan. I just want to understand, how do you even come up with those designs of websites? What really inspires those designs? So I just want to get to understand what really inspires those designs, and then I'm gonna come to Carol the same thing. Do you just sleep at night, Hassan, and then you just get a picture of what you're gonna work on the next day? So over to you, Hassan.
Yeah, Peter, it's really this depends on my clients at the moment. But then at the start, when I was starting to do all these things, after I came with the idea of creating digital marketing agency, and then I used to wake up in the morning, and, as you said, and try to come up with a little bit new stuff on the market. For example, building websites was not something new. That's what almost every digital marketing in the industry was already doing. So I used to try to target to get a new niche for my business. So I tried to build some websites for health industry. So I tried to build some from my imagination. So I just built a few websites, different ones, which I felt like it was different from what's in the market at the moment, and then tried to show out to people who needed it. So I have to take a screenshots of the themes that I created and then send it to an emails that I already had in my database. So that these people in the industry, already in the industry, can see what I'm bringing in into the industry. So that's how I started building my clients. But at the moment, it depends on what my client needs. So I just give them a checklist of what I need from them, and then when they fill up that, from that I will know what sort of design or what sort of theme of website they need. But to what the services that we do in the digital marketing, I think websites is just 10% of what we do. So mostly we do advertisements of different parts. For example, Facebook marketing, which Google marketing. These are called social media marketing. We also do social media management and all that. So it's not websites that we focus on right now. It's more of the advertisement that I was talking about, and it's more of marketing. So creating videos like what you do right now, and all that. So helping people who create videos and all that. But in terms of my creativity, it was not all about my creativity, to be honest with you. So it's about doing what clients need right now, and it was just a gap that I really needed to fill. So it's not something I can say, oh, this is something I invented and all that. It was an existing market that needed people to come in, and still there's a big gap for that. So there's a lot of things that people need to learn. These are one of the simple skills that people can learn in a very short time of period and can make really good living out of it. So that's how my designs go.
Amazing, Carol. So how do you come up with that, that hair by sea? So how do you come up with the hair products? Do you just imagine? Do you sleep? Do you research? What do you do to come up with the product? Because we want to understand, how someone develops, the product itself. So that's why I'm asking this question. So how do you come up with such products, and what really inspires those products, Carol?
Thank you. So, I think the biggest part of me coming up with products was actually having conversations with people in the community and seeing their needs and trying to meet their needs. Because, as I said, I was actually providing products from another company, and when they couldn't provide that, I had to fill the gap of giving them and having that consistency as well. And I think the biggest thing is actually encouraging men and women from the African heritage to actually wear their hairs out, because we have the most beautiful hair. Like, Africans have very beautiful hair. So seeing people put chemical just for it to be manageable, for me, actually breaks my heart, because this is your crown. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love everything about yourself the same as your skin. So with me, I had to come up with products that were gonna make doing your hair being manageable, or rather just having people to enjoy um, keeping their hair out. So if you know me, I always encourage everybody to have their hair without putting chemical on, and they know that in the community. So yeah, it was more of the conversations with people and fulfilling that need. So yeah.
I'm just laughing at the back end here because with no background, with no technicality, people actually doing things. So it's actually doable. Thank you guys for answering that question. So before we go on a break, I want to touch on a very sensitive, something that really pulls people from not going into entrepreneurship or even business. This is what we call the challenges of starting up or challenges of getting into product or services. So I'm going to start with you, Linda. What are some of the challenges you face when you started or when you're trying to create products? And I want you to actually just give us how it is in on the ground. So what are the some of the challenges that you face? Over to you, Linda.
Hi, thank you for the question actually. And basically when I started, I was still a student, and so I was between balancing uni work and starting a new following a passion. So for me at that time, it was time management and prioritizing, having to choose what to do, because at some point I started getting orders of what I was already making, and people were already kind of believing to trust me, so I was beginning to make products. So time or balancing in between can be something that you wanna kind of get prepared. And the other thing was marketing. You may have a good product, but you want it to be out there, so you wanna learn how to market so much. Because I don't want to say that personally I didn't know how to do marketing, but it was, for me, it was just all about putting it out there. But maybe the wording, I would get so many weird comments of how do you post a product like that and you expect it to sell? And I'm like, someone will read it. Anyway, so in that, and then there are also other challenges like in terms of outfit, someone can place an order and be like, make this one for me, and just never come back and pick it, and maybe they did not pay the deposit or something, so you end up being stuck with the outfit. And if it's too big, you can't wear. If it's too small, you definitely can't wear. So there are some things that come in between, and unfortunately they kind of, I know you, but it's the existing challenges that are out there and the reality of what's actually going on. So yeah.
So I might order a design and then I'm like, I don't really like it after all. So whose cost is it, Linda? Is it your cost, or do you charge before, or do someone pay after the finished product? Because I might order something today and then I change my mind tomorrow. So how do you navigate from such a challenge? Maybe over back to you, Linda.
Actually, when I started, because I didn't know much about business, for me it was more of satisfaction of the person. So what I would do was I would always charge them after they collect the product. After I've seen that they're excited, they look good in it, that's when I would charge them. And yeah, so kind of, if someone changes their mind, the loss would always come back to me, because if I had spent some money buying the t-shirt or the hoodie, if I was only meant to customize, then the charges come back to me. So yeah.
we gotta come to you, Caro, as well, because you dealing with products as well. So, what are some of the challenges, Caro, you face while you're doing what you're doing now? And maybe after you tell me the challenge, I'll ask maybe how do you navigate maybe one or two of the challenges. But before that, what are some of the challenges, Caro, do you face while you're doing what you do?
Oh my goodness. There are a lot of challenges. And as any entrepreneur or business person knows, there are so many of them. And I'm just gonna touch on a few of them that are actually, or in the beginning, that were very challenging, that I was able to actually navigate to now. So the first thing was actually time, because I started this when I was actually expecting my daughter. So you're tired, you're trying to go to work and everything. There was no time to do that. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And I had to find time. But that was one of the biggest challenges. And I think the biggest second thing was finances. Although it was not as big as you can say over capital, but still I had to dig deep into my savings to actually get the product here. And also, as Linda has said, when someone doesn't come to pick up something, for me at least I'm good, because the bottle will just stay there for the next person. But finances were actually a huge deal. But I was very lucky because I've got a partner who is very supportive on that. And I think one of the major was actually supply of products. As we know, in Australia, everything is actually very hard. Like manpower, getting products was very hard. So getting products or suppliers and logistics was very hard. And also starting the business in lockdown, so there's a delay in a post office. So you order and you actually promise people that the oils will be available. Then you get the oils, but you don't have the packaging. It's stuck somewhere. So those are the major ones. But as you know, when you're starting something, the initial development phase is usually the biggest thing, because you're trying to come up with something that is gonna fit everybody. It's gonna fit the kids, it's gonna fit men, it's gonna fit women. So the initial development phase was quite hard. But lucky I had like mentors, I had coaches who was taking me through it. So it was hard, but we managed it. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm liking the vibe. I'm liking the vibe. Hassan. So,
Yes.
what are some of the challenges and while you're doing what you're doing? So maybe you can share with us what are some of the challenges. Over to you, Hassan.
Ah, there were a lot of challenges that happened at the start, but thanks God, right now we're getting a bit of ease after the experience and all that. But if I talk about the challenge that we went through all the way from the start, that's really, the list is going to be very long. So let me cut it short. And some of the biggest things were, I was very new to this thing. I was very excited. I really wanted to get into, after I watched a couple videos on YouTube and all that. So I was saying, let me just let me get into this business. And as soon as it started, there was a lot of other big people in the market, and I couldn't compete with them. And this is a very competitive industry. Marketing is very competitive, and people really need results on what you advertising for them. So one of the biggest challenges was getting quality leads for my clients, and also targeting the right clients. But above all that, we were in lockdown and all that. So for me to get people to work with me or under me was very hard for me. So I had to outsource majority of my services. So to people who are in overseas and all that. I tried Kenya. If anybody's watching me from Kenya, because that's the place that I thought I could trust my people and all that. But I tried a lot of the Asian countries and all that, people who are there over the internet. Some of them kind of scam you and all that. So you make a payment to them, and before they even do the work, and you can't really trust everybody with your customers' content. So one of the biggest problem was to get the right people to work with me. But above all that, as I already started with, is getting the right leads for my clients.
Amazing. I like to finish on a very high note. So we've looked at the challenges, but before we go on a break, I just want you with one word. What motivates you I'm gonna go straight to you, Hassan. Facing all those challenges, you're still standing right here because we couldn't be having this interview. What motivates you? One word, Hassan.
In one word, what motivates me is getting into challenge and coming over that same challenge in a good spirit.
So overcoming the challenge motivates you.
Yeah,
Over to you,
overcoming that
Linda.
challenge
What
motivates me really
motivates you?
well.
Um, Satisfaction, having to get the results, having to have something done. That kind of, yeah, that keeps me going.
Amazing. Carol, what motivates you?
Um, the feedback and the reviews from our customers. When someone calls you and they say, "Oh my God, this or this butter is so good," it makes me get out of my couch and just come in to my small factory, I call it, and continue actually doing it. So reviews and feedbacks and seeing everybody that I meet actually using the product.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for that
Yeah.
first half. It has been amazing. We're gonna go back to the questions right after this, but I want to send a few shout outs right there. We have Mike Munene saying, I love this, quite interesting. It's all about interest and passion. And then we have Beatrice Wairimu saying, good job, Caro, looking amazing. So if you have any words you want to encourage our guests tonight, please write them on the comments below. They can actually see them and they can see the support you're giving them. But tonight, we're going to take a short break. But when we return, we're going to continue with this amazing interview just to get to know what happens in the world of entrepreneurs. And today we have a very young team, people who are trying to come up. And trust me, guys, these guys are going far places. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we're going to return after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This December, the Konect stories return. Be sure to join us this coming December with great stories lined up for you. Be sure to tune in every Friday. The Konect stories return.
I drove to Sydney, and during that time we were still like working from home.
Yeah.
So it worked out for me. So we drove to Sydney. We got to Sydney at around like 1 a.m. By the time we were going to sleep, it was like around 3 a.m. So at 3 a.m. I slept, and then I got up because I start my work at around 9 a.m. So at 9 a.m. I logged in, so I started working. So 9 a.m. and my English exam was booked for 5:30.
Yeah.
So after doing the PTE, I went and saw like a few friends, and then by the time we were leaving Sydney to Melbourne, it was midnight.
Okay.
So and by 9 a.m. I have to like log into work. So when you put the use the GPS, it was estimating would be getting to Melbourne at around 10 a.m. So I just drove. So halfway through the journey, I found out that hey, I didn't even get the scores that I want.
At that point in time, I was just thinking of, okay, I need to finish this because it's a door opener for many things. I knew it depends. This is my career line, and I've chosen this, and it's my passion. Now, I knew like, given the setbacks in the first semester, even though it was a deterrent at that point in time, I had to leverage it somewhere along the road. Now, I had to work hard for it, and when you say work hard for it, is now you have to work hard to get more finances to finance that extra unit that in that semester, and then the workload of it would also be more. That was now the challenge. At that point, I remember I would mention special thanks to Kevin. He supported me during that time. I remember sharing the story with him, and he was like, "Oh, even me, I'm going through the same predicament. Let's push on." At least having to see that person whom you're pushing on together, you know, okay, I'm struggling here, he's struggling as well. It gives you that motivation. And I would say, why not that point in time that I was living with him? Perhaps maybe I would have given up.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So the Konect stories return this December. It's gonna be an amazing journey. We have so much great stories for you guys. I don't know if you guys are ready, but we ready. We're bringing it on as we promised last time. So we're gonna go back to our guest and just get this plane going, because we have half an hour to land the plane. So if you have any question for our guest, if you want to understand any of the processes, if you want to ask any question, please don't forget to write them on the comments down below, and we're gonna try and answer your question to the best of our ability. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in and stayed on. Thank you so much. And for our guests, thank you so much. So we're gonna go back to our guest, and I'm gonna just ask. I'll start with you, Hassan. In terms of mental health, because we know that there's so many things that goes on when you're trying to create a product, when you're trying to start something and get something going. How do you take care of your mental health? Because that's a very big factor when you have challenges on this side, you have expectations on this side, and you really want something going on. So how do you take care of your mental health? Over to you, Hassan.
I think very good question. Peter, mental health is a very, very big thing in this country. Back in our home countries, it wasn't valued that much. But in a very strict schedules and very strict schedules and all that, people who are very busy and under these current situations in the Western countries, it's a really big thing. So for me, we were in lockdown, as I already mentioned. So we were in lockdown, and everyone wanted to do something. People had a free time. That was a very, very good time for me to get a free time for myself. And after I started this, I started trying to to do the exercise. There was 1 hour exercise a day that we were allowed to do. So I did do this thing in the morning, wake up, be on my computer for 5 6 hours, and then I just go up for my 1 hour to do that exercise. So I've done a bit of an exercise, and I was catching up with a lot of people over the internet and all that. So I was really enjoying to do this thing, to create new stuff before even we go back to normal. So I thanks God I didn't struggle with any mental issues and all that. So I didn't put enough effort to really, really protect my mental health. But by natural, I wasn't even more stressed about mental health and all that. So thanks God I was doing okay with that.
Amazing. So for Hassan, actually utilize the 1 hour and get some exercise going. I'm gonna ask you what exercises, but not today, because we're gonna get there. So for Linda, how do you take of your mental health with everything going on, and you actually using your mental faculty so much because you're trying to come up with a product, with a design? How do you take care of your mental health? Over to you, Linda.
Thank you for the question, Pete. That's actually a very good question, and I love questions related to mental health. But yeah, for me personally, I have come to develop coloring. I love coloring, and what I do is just sit down, switch my phone off, and do coloring for an hour or half an hour, and it's the most relaxing thing. And if coloring is not the thing I would love to do, I would just go out for walk and kind of aware of where I exercise and just seeing a different environment, having to be in a different space kind of just takes it all out. The other thing is, if either of that is not working for the day, I try on all the clothes that I've made, all those outfits. I just dress and take them off and put some makeup. At the end of the day, I realize it actually does help. And when I see myself in those outfits, I'm like, this is what I have made. I mean, what else could I ask for? So yeah, that's me.
Amazing, amazing. I'm liking this, because it's very important to take care of your mental health, no matter what field you are in tonight. Please do something you love doing and take care of your mental health. I'm gonna go back to you, Caro. How do you take care of your mental health? And you really have to create and come up with all these products. So how do you take care of your mental health, Caro?
There's so many things I do now, and I've learned to do to actually look after myself. I used to be the person who was go go go. My house has to be clean. I have to do this. I have to do that. And now, oh my God, it's such a different ball game. So I think the major things that I've done is actually tapping into a mentor. So I've got a mentor who I actually contact and I talk to all the time. And to be honest, everybody needs a mentor, and a mentor is not your boss. Your boss is not your mentor. You need a mentor who actually can see life on a different angle and a different perspective. um, I've gotten into a lot of reading and listening to podcasts and just listening to other people. Reading actually gives you a different mindset. Like, you read and actually understand what the world is all about, the people who have actually created other things, like for example learning about how a car was developed, and realizing, oh, just creating a product is not that easy, and realizing, okay, um it's all in the books, it's all in the podcast that you listen to. Also taking a step back. Sometimes you can't do everything. You are not a magician, and also magicians don't do everything. You can't do everything. Take a step back, and I think I always say this to my friends: take a step back, reevaluate the situation, and see what you need to do. Another thing is actually just self-care. I have actually taken up the self-care rule of going to the mall, looking after myself, taking a bath, and just saying, today I'm not dealing with the orders. I just want to play with my daughter and I just want to look after my family. That actually helps me with my mental health, because if I indulge so much in what's going on in the world and what's going on, oh, I haven't sold any oil today, or this week have been very low on sales, it's gonna drive me nuts. But the thing is, tapping into mental, reading, listening, taking a step back are the things that actually works for me. So thank you.
Wow, I'm really liking this. I keep mentioning that, for Linda is to dress up with the products she's actually done and feel the satisfaction and enjoy her work. For Hassan, he goes out on exercising. For Caro, reading and more reading and tapping into a mentor. Amazing, guys, amazing. So we're gonna go in a segment I like calling the picture journey. I'm gonna start. Let me see. I'm gonna start with Linda. I'm gonna broadcast an image to the viewers, and then I'm gonna ask Linda what that image means to you. So picture number one tonight is Linda. So Linda, I have a picture on the screen here. People can actually see it, but Linda, you cannot see it. It actually has three pictures of yourself. One, you have a yellow sort of gown, and then a green one in the middle, and then a yellow gown. So I want you to tell me in this picture, at what time was that, and what was happening, and how did you feel? Over to you, Linda.
Thank you for that, Peter. I feel like I clearly know the photo. At that time, I feel like, I was back in Kenya to start with, and I was in university, probably in my second year or so. And I remember my mom used to say there's nothing like easy or quick money. So as much as we'd be at home on holiday, she would still make us to work. So we have we've grown tea leaves. So what she'd make us was to make us go out there, pluck the tea leaves, and she would pay us every day. So I think that kind of hustle started way back in Kenya. And then I was in uni sometime. I was just like dressing up in outfit and just seeing how I would look and just taking photos. And yeah, that I kind of liked a lot of dressing, and that's why those photos are just really good memories of those times where struggle, fantasy, reality kind of mix up together.
Amazing. Second picture, Linda. You actually in a black dress, and then it has the your designs on the left, and then there's a building right behind you. So at what time was that, and how did you feel about that? Because it actually looks like one of your designs. So how did you feel just putting on that outfit, and at what time was actually that picture taken? Over to you, Linda.
Thank you so much. That photo is one of my favorites because it was one day that I felt like I had conquered one of the best designs that just came up in my mind. I remember that day I had actually gone to support a friend whom I am currently designing. Actually, Elsie Wameo, she was performing and I went there. And the thing was, when I rocked up in that outfit, the first friend who saw me was literally switching on her phone, and he was sorry he was recording me while I was walking, and everyone kept looking at me. It's an outfit where I sat and I was just like, I want to try something, and it has to be outstanding for me. That outfit, it's just like it opened up more of this more, that feeling of there's so much more in you. So Linda, keep going. So every time I go back to that photo, I'm like, there's so much more and even more.
Amazing. So the last picture for you tonight, Linda, is you're actually holding your hand and you're putting one of your designs and it's actually on a road and you're just smiling and laughing. It seems like you're really enjoying the moment. So maybe at what moment was that and how did you feel at that moment?
um I believe in that photo. It was like I said before, the thing that keeps me going a lot is the satisfaction when I see something done. The idea that I had in mind, if it was a dream that I had in mind, and when I see it being it's like the reality, how it looks on me, and that smile just cannot be hidden. I mean, you want to see the beautiful smile, the beautiful face, and the outfit as well. So one of those days where I just, yeah, I just like, yep, that was it. That was the design that I really needed to get it out there. So yes.
Amazing, amazing. So we're gonna thank you so much, guys, for being patient. We're gonna go straight over to. I'm gonna finish with you, Hassan. I'm gonna go to Carol. I like twisting things a little bit. So, Carol, your first image tonight. I'm gonna go to Carol. So on my left is just. This is amazing. I can see a few bottles and buckets and in a box. So tell us a little bit about that image and what that really, where was that, and how, at what point in your process was that, and how did that make you feel? So that's your first picture tonight, Carol.
That was, I think, not in the beginning as per se, but in the beginning, I would go to different shops to look for oils, to look for essential oils, and that bucket there actually came from hubby's gift, Christmas gift hamper, and that's the only place I could actually put my oils and my stuff. So those were my first butter, two buckets of butters, which were like 5 kilos, and little essential oils. That's what actually I started with. So started from the bottom.
And then the second image for you tonight, Carol, I think maybe it's the same, but it's actually a shelf full of your products, and then on top there says "Trust your journey." So tell us about that picture, Carol.
Oh my goodness. I think this is my most favorite area. And as you can see, it's actually my background there. So it's my most favorite area in the house because I come in here and as soon as I open the door, that's all I see. And I'm like, girl, the tears you cried last night, they can't go into vain. You have to keep going. So that's my little shop. And I remember one of my friends when I posted a photo of that shop said, you just need a sign on top there with the name in Swahili Duka and the M-Pesa number on the bottom. So that's how far we've come. We've been able to actually shelve our products and not just putting them anywhere. So yeah.
Amazing. It's an amazing journey. Thank you, Carol. I think the next picture I think is the same thing. So I'm gonna go to you, Hassan, quickly. I have a few pictures of you, Hassan, here, and the first picture on my left is you on a pink tie. Want to tell us a little bit about that picture tonight, Hassan?
Thank you. I don't want to see that photo. I think that photo is when I was in high school back, or when I finished high school, something like that. And this is something really good that I want to share with everyone watching us tonight or today, whatever time it is for them. That was real exactly after I finished high school. And what I used to do is to take my jacket in high school, in boarding or whatever jackets I can get, and dress like a professional or whatever, and put on a tie. By then, I didn't care the color. Now I wouldn't wear a pink tie, but then by then I didn't care about the color and all that. So what I used to do is to take a tie and whatever, or put a tuck in, or my shirt and all that, and take a bus from where I lived. I lived in suburb called Isli in Nairobi, and then go to town. Me, by doing nothing, I just go to town, go to the offices. I'm not looking for work, but looking for something to do. So I wake up in the morning and just go to the town to see what I can do. So my brothers and my sister, everybody used to tell me, "Are you crazy? Why are you going? What are you doing? Are you looking for a job or whatever?" And nobody by then could give me a job, like straight from high school. Nobody. So what I used to do is to go to people, ask them they need, what I can help them with as business, like a business partner or whatever, without me doing anything. And I suggest everybody should just wake up in the morning, even if they don't have anything to do. Go to the city, go to the town, go to wherever the business is happening, and maybe you'll end up doing something. And that got me into what until today I do, which is the travel industry. So I ended up into an office in the town. There's a guy called Mwangi. I don't know if some of you know. He lives in the town. He has a big office in Nairobi town. So he told me, okay, when he saw me with the suit and the young guy, he said, "Why are you here?" And I said, I was just checking around to see if I can help you with your travel agents and all that." And he laughed at me and he said, "Okay, well, do you know the systems we used? What do you do?" And I said, "I want to be your partner, and I want to have the same office in somewhere else in Nairobi." And that's how I started. So I suggest everybody to go in the morning, wake up, even if you don't have anything to do, and look for something that you can do. So that guy, he showed me on what to do, and from him I knew that there were some systems that airlines use, and that's how booking systems, and that's how I started looking for where I can learn from. I learned that in like 2 months or something, and then I started my own travel agents, and that was a long way, and that's how I came here. So I applied to university here for travel and tourism in Australia, and that's how I got all the way here, and I'm still doing it about again. So I do more in the digital marketing thing, but I'm still involved in the travel industry.
Amazing. So your
So
second
that
picture
photo
tonight,
was them.
yeah, your second picture tonight, you're actually standing, I think there's water in the background and another suit as well, looking very great there. So what image was that, and at what point was that in your life, and were you where you wanted to be, or were you still in your journey? Over to you, Hassan.
I think I was still in my journey, and that was just before the pandemic, and we were trying to expand our travel agency business to our target market in Brisbane, and I was in Brisbane to look for some business, to do what I can, how I can get my target market in Brisbane. So that photo is actually me in Brisbane, checking around and see what I can do in there. So I was still in the journey, and I'm still in the journey as we're talking right now.
Amazing. So the last picture for you tonight is you're seated down, you have a laptop, and I think you're working on something. How does that make you feel, and at what time in your life was this picture taken?
I don't think that was a long time ago. I think that is after I started Raise Digital, and I was trying to find out how I can improve my skills in digital marketing and how I can. So it's in the making too. So I was trying to do maybe some work of my clients and all that, and I'm still doing it. So that last photo, I think I can't see it, but the last photo is not long ago. It's while I was doing this, what I'm doing right now.
Amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you for the guest tonight. And there's a question that everybody always wanna ask, and I wanna ask everybody. So I wanna hear. So now I'll start with you, Hassan. Is it worth it? Is it worth it what you're doing? Is it worth it? So answer. So we wanna hear that answer, and we wanna hear the real answer. Is it worth it, Hassan?
So if you start with me, is it worth it? I think it worth it. It worth it, and I thank God every day that I watched that ad that I started telling you at the first. So it worth it to me. It really almost changed my life. I can't say it completely changed my life, but that was a very good move for me.
For Carol, is it worth it? And how do you feel after you see the finished product? Is it worth it?
1,000 times, yes, all worth it. All the tears, all the sleepless nights, all worth it. When you actually make something from scratch, it's like making ugali. You don't even, like, for example, people who live where there's no water, you put water, it starts boiling, you put the unga, and you start cooking, and when you sit down to eat it, you actually enjoy it. It's the same thing. So when I see people using my products, and I think the biggest thing that actually makes me feel very proud is when I hear someone says, "Can I get two more bottles? Can I get that shea butter? Can I get that?" And to be honest, all worth it.
Amazing. Linda, is it worth it? And then how do you feel when you see that finished dress? Is it worth it?
Yes, yes, and yes. It is definitely worth it. I mean, from the moment I started until now, looking back, I have hosted a fashion show. I have designed outfit for an artist who's kind of an upcoming celebrity. I have designed outfits for people. People are approaching me to ask me if I can make an outfit for people. I would have never thought I would even they would even say hello to me. As in, I think the the moment you trust your passion and you just give it a go, the word trust the process clearly kicks in, and it is just a path where you sit back and you look at your journey and you're like, you know what, I'm so glad I actually started. I am so glad. I trusted and just decided to go ahead. And yes, it is always worth it. The challenges will come, but there are also the good moments, the times where you'll be shedding tears because of too much joy that you have when you walk out there and you see your outfit and you're like, I don't know. I'm even speechless, but yes, yes, definitely.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm liking. The other question that I have, maybe, because all this actually takes time. So we have family, we have work, we have partners, we have children for Carol. But I want to understand, how do you create that balance? So I'm going to start with you, Linda. How do you create a work-life balance? Because what you said is that you started while you're actually a student and you had studies, you had to work, you had to do whatever you needed to do, but you still had to follow your passion. How did you balance it all, Linda?
I think for me, it was more of prioritizing. So I would actually create a schedule where if I have orders today, and I would check if I have assignments, I would create time to do the assignments and do that. So I would normally do my assignments in advance so that if the due date doesn't catch up with me, and then I would just keep doing the orders. I guess it's reached a point where I kinda got to see to learn how to prioritize activities, and that went on and on. And even though I finished uni and now it's just work and passion, there's still so much. The demand keeps growing and growing, and there are those points where I'm always like, I would always put my business um as a priority more than going to work, because when you're building something, you gotta put time, you gotta put in some effort and more time to it. So yes, that's how I kind of get to balance. Yeah.
Amazing. I think Hassan, you have something to tell. You actually talking to me on the background and you're saying, I want to hear again from you, Hassan. Is it worth it? There's something you wanted to add just to show that it's actually worth it. Hassan.
No, the only thing I wanted to add was my sister just mentioned something. Monzaley just said something about when you asked her, is it worth it? And I just wanted to emphasize a little bit more about that. Is is it worth it? If you ask her, is it worth it? So every time I ask myself a question, I ask myself, why did I not do this a long time ago? Why? So what I wanted to add on this point was, if anybody is watching us or anybody will watch us and thinking about creating anything or doing anything for themselves, just go ahead, just start. What makes me feel really not good is, for me, why did I not start? All this time that I wanted to start my own thing, why did I not do it? So what I'm saying to everyone who wants to start something, just do, just to start. Don't wait for the right moment. There's no right moment. So what I wanted to add was only this: there's no right moment. Just put your feet in and start. It may be start with the smallest thing that you can start with, and then that will take you to the next step, and then to the next step, and then until you get to your final destination. So just to start. That's all I wanted to say.
Amazing. While you're still there, you're actually still on the screen, Hassan. So I want you to tell us, how do you create a work-life balance? Because that's what actually we're talking about. But thank you so much for that point. Hassan is saying tonight, start. So Hassan, how do you create a work-life balance?
So work-life balance is all. I think it depends on the responsibilities on your shoulder by the time you're doing the work that you're doing, and depending on what you're doing. For me, how I try to balance life. And this is why I was saying just to start. If you're doing your own thing, you will have the capability where you can stop what you're doing at any point of your life. So you can just stop, put on hold a little bit, and do whatever you're doing in your life. So, and then come back for it and do it. Or you even have the ability to outsource that work and give it to someone else, and someone else is doing it for you when you're doing your other thing. So for me, the way I do is and that's what people call it, freedom. And that's why everyone wants to have their own thing. So for me, I try not to do everything too much and not to be out of what I was doing too much time. So try to be a little bit in the middle of all the situations I'm doing.
Amazing. Carol, how do you balance it all? Being a mother, being a wife, and running a business. How do you balance it all? Over to you, Carol.
Good question, Peter. I think somebody the other day I was actually crying on the phone. I'm like, I don't think I can do this. She's like, girl, you're doing everything what we want to do. Like, you're running a home, you're going to work, you're running a business. And let me tell you, Peter, as I actually thought before, there's a balance in life, but there's no balance. So it's like a seesaw. There's always something that's gonna be a priority, because if you say it's a balance, the seesaw will always, you have two things that you're trying to balance, but that will never happen. So for me, it's more of a prioritization, having a to-do list, because before I was just waking up and just going with the flow, but having a to-do list the night before has actually saved me a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of thinking. So I write down what I need to do for the week and also for the day. So if I do that, I actually go ticking. When I do something, I tick. That way I am actually more organized. I think the other thing is actually having time to self-care. Put it in there, put it in your to-do list, because if you think, oh, I need to do ABCD, you'll not have time for yourself. Definitely prioritizing. So there's times that I say, I'm not gonna deal with the orders, I am looking after my family, or I'm looking after me. So when hubby gets home, I'm like, bye bye, I'll see you in 20 minutes, I need to have a walk. So yeah, having your priorities right.
So, guys, we're coming to very good close, and I want to give a few shout outs before we give our advice to upcoming talented entrepreneurs and people who want to get into the same space or different spaces that you guys are in. Just try something, just products or services. I'm gonna send a few shout outs here tonight. Thank you, Mike Monene. You've been such amazing for the support. Beatrice Wairimu, thank you for the support. Duncan Miner, thank you for the support. There's another lady, I don't want to miss, Daisy. Thank you for the support. Liz, thank you. Terry Ndegwa, thank you so much. Susan, thank you so much. Patricia, thank you so much. And everybody else who's tuned in, but you have not written anything down there, I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, we actually coming to the tail end of our show tonight, and I want this great guest tonight just to give up just a bit of a nugget, just some wisdom to our upcoming, because I know there's so many talents out there. and people are actually reserved from going on and starting whatever they actually have inside of them. So I want to hear from, I'll start with, let me see, okay, I'll start with Linda. Linda, what are you going to tell our upcoming uh, talent and people who want to get into the products or service industry or even get into a business, but they're actually afraid? So what are you going to tell them tonight? Over to you, Linda.
Thank you, Peter, for the question. For that, yes, definitely. You have a talent. You have recognized that you have a talent. You have a skill. First thing, put it out there. People need to know. People need to see, and that's how you people will know. So first things first, put it out there. Number two, don't even think about it. You think you can sing, go ahead and just start singing. Having to think, oh, what if this doesn't make it, what if, no. The moment you trust yourself and put yourself out there, trust me, nature takes care of the rest. At least that's what happened to me. And the other thing is, there's a gift of greatness in everyone. It is unto you to find it, to discover. And through that, hey, you're gonna see yourself flying. So yes.
Amazing. A gift of greatness. I read someone used to say that there's a genius in you. So there's a genie in us. That's a genius. So you're a genius. So you have to find the genie in you. Go find out what you really love and follow that passion. And then we're going to hear from you, Hassan. What are you going to tell our upcoming talents and people who want to get into the service or product industry or even start a business? What are you going to tell them tonight? Over to you, Hassan.
Yes, I already said and everybody said, just put your feet in. Just start. Don't wait for nothing. Um, don't wait for anything. Just start. That's all I can say. 8 months ago, I did not think that I will help this much people in my business or whatever. So now that within 8 months, I came across a totally different niche market, totally different thing that I never thought I would be doing. And I actually helped over 96 clients so far today. So 96 different businesses that I would never speak with them, talk to them. Now I have their contacts. Maybe they can link me up with anything that I love that I need in my life, or they know better than me. So just do it. Start it, and you never know where it will take you. Just go do it. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Hassan. And I like your openness now, sharing the numbers and I know you're going places and you're doing great things. And you started with zero and now you're at 96 and many business are coming your way. So we're gonna hear from
Thanks.
Carol. So what are you gonna tell our upcoming talents tonight? And people want to get into business and they're very reserved and they don't really want to open up or even start or even give it a go. What are you gonna tell them tonight, Carol?
To add on what the others have said, I think mine is actually very different, but or in the same way, but in a different way. But I would say if you have an idea, honestly, and I'm gonna repeat this, always tap into mentorship or someone who's actually been there or who's done it, because it's actually gonna save you a lot of time. It's gonna save you money. Because for me, there's a thing I did in before a few months ago, and when I spoke to someone who's actually done it, she was like, what did you just do? So always tap into someone who've done it before, tap into your mentors, get a different perspective, because it's good to just start. But if you have the right path, or if you have, like, saying, when you're driving and someone is guiding you, you're not going to crash the same way you'd crash when you're by yourself. Always have someone to guide you on those, even if it's someone who has not done your kind of business. They might have a business that is similar to yours. Always go to them. And I think the other thing I would say is skills are transferable. If you can go and sit in an office and do an interview, you can definitely sell a product. So use those skills, and sell something. Put yourself out there. There are people who are selling shredded paper for packaging. That does not need a lot of skills or a lot of education in it. if you can actually brainstorm. For me, I'm always very open to people calling me and asking me questions, to be honest. My phone, and I think everybody knows, if you call Carol, she'll always answer, and if she doesn't, she's gonna call you in the next less than 1 hour. Call me and let's brainstorm, because I'm also always looking for ideas from other people, because as an entrepreneur, you don't know everything and you'll never know everything, because the moment you think you know everything, you've already failed from there. So mentorship and
Oh,
doing your thing.
amazing. So we're gonna start with you, Caro. Final remarks and how can people reach you and maybe support your business. And then we're gonna go to Hassan and then finish off with Linda. But over to you, Caro. Your final remarks for tonight and how can people support your business and how can people reach you? Over to you, Caro.
Thanks, Peter. First of all, I want to thank your people, your Connect community. I want to thank all my followers, my friends, my family. I can see most of them here. They are all commenting. I can't mention all of you, but thank you so much for actually tuning in. But to actually get my product, you can always come to my house in Clyde. But the biggest thing is you can find me on Instagram, Haircarebycee, or you can find me on my personal Instagram, which is Wairimu, or you can also find me on Facebook, Jerry Wairimu or Jerry Kawairimu. Most people know that. Or find me anywhere. You'll find me in the shopping mall. Just stop me, talk to me, and ask me whatever you need to do, or ask me whatever. If you need a mentor, I'm always here to direct you to that path. And yeah, thank you so much, Peter. This is an amazing platform, and thank you for everyone who is watching. Have a good
Amazing. So we're gonna go to you, Hassan. So your final remarks and how can people, support you? And something else, you can actually type on the comments and someone can actually see where to get you. So whether it's your IG handle or Facebook, whatever, just write it on the comments and people can actually be able to follow. So Hassan, final remarks and how can people support your
Yeah.
business and how can people get in touch with you?
First of all, thank you everybody. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Cara, and everybody who is watching us too. Yeah. Actually, if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm very active on Facebook, Hassanoor Sheikh. So I have some. Well, I'll put in the comment my Instagram as well, so you can reach me through there, or you can just visit my website or our website, raisedigital.com.au, and actually, if anybody is watching us on here and they are a freelancer or whatever, and they think that they can help us in what we're doing, they're more than welcome. You guys are more than welcome. You can join our team. You can join us. You can follow us. You can see what we're doing. We can also try to help you if you really want to do. It's not about competition and all that. If you want to get into the same market, I will personally help you to do that. So this is a very big thing. Everybody can do whatever they want to do in life if they really stick on it. So I'll put my on the comment, I'll put my website and my Instagram, and then you can follow me on us. Other than that, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Peter, for doing this great job. And we all need to support each other. I will contact Carol for something for my hair. I'll contact everybody that I see in here. And I really love Connect. Connect is doing really good. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Hassan, for those kind words. Caro as well. And we're gonna finish tonight with Linda. Linda, your final remarks and how can people support you and how can people buy your designs or even your dresses? Over to you, Linda.
Thank you so much, Peter, for this opportunity. For me, basically, I'm always on Instagram as the Monzale, and the same as Facebook, and also Facebook recognized as Linda Monzale. And anytime you ask someone who can make or customize fabrics in Adelaide, you'll just hear the name Linda. Anyway, that's me, and I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. Like, it is with such opportunity where we get to grow, we get to hear, we get to learn from other people. Thank you for the viewers. Thank you for the beautiful comments and for this moment. Just want to say thank you, and thanks to you too, Peter, for creating these platform for us to have a chat and encourage each other and share our stories.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching tonight. The comments are going crazy, and the viewers tonight is just amazing. It shows the support you have for these people. Thank you so much for the support. And wherever you are, if you can support these businesses, please do. If you want a design, if you want a hair products, if you want a marketing, digital marketing video or anything, please reach out to these guys and support them as much as you can. And tonight we don't have much to say, we don't have much to add. These guys have said it all, and they've said just go for it. If you want to start something, just start. So we're gonna finish from there tonight, and we're gonna say thank you so much for our guests and everybody who's tuned in tonight. This is the Connect live from Victoria, Melbourne. And if you have any story out there you'd like the Connect to come and share, if you have a business you want us to talk about, please reach us on our Instagram, on our socials. Everything is written down there, and we're gonna endeavor to bring the stories because we are here to inform, inspire, and motivate. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and may God bless. And for everybody, the comments down there, thank you so much. We're gonna see you next time. Next week, we have a great guest. Before I forget, he goes by the name Justin Juguna. We're gonna talk money matters. How do you start with your savings? How do you grow your savings? And how do you maintain the same consistency with your money? So if you wanna become smart with your money, join in next week, same time, 7:30 here on the Connect. And I shall see you guys same time. Thank you, and God bless.